Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thank you for staying tuned. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Blood pressure is created by the force of its flow through vessels in the body. If the pressure in these vessels is persistently high, it is a condition called hypertension, raised or high blood pressure. The higher the pressure in these vessels, the harder the heart must pump to get the blood through. According to the World Health Organization, all over the world, almost 1.3 billion adults between 30 and 79 years have hypertension. Hypertension is a major cause of premature death, yet only 1 in 5 adults with the condition has it under control. Another 46% don't even know they have the condition. The global target for hypertension is to reduce its prevalence by 33% by 2030. My guest on the show is a consultant public health physician at the Federal Ministry of Health, Abuja, Dr. Jamiu Ganiyu. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, it's safe to say that high blood pressure could be injurious to the heart because it has to keep pumping harder. Probably also injurious to the blood vessels. So what is the effect of high blood pressure on the heart and the vessels?
Okay, thank you very much. You know, when there is high blood pressure, it makes the heart to overwork. By so doing, it will raise the resistance of the blood vessels, and that may automatically lead to the rise in blood pressure. What it does is that without control, it can actually lead to heart attack, maybe a kind of reduction in blood flow to the heart, because despite the fact that the heart pump blood, it's also, some blood vessels also supply the heart. So through that, some people may end up having heart attack, maybe from myocardial infarction. Also, as for the blood vessels, they also supply other vital areas in the body, like the kidney. Somebody may develop what you call hypertensive nephropathy. So that's why some people end up developing renal failure, which may lead to dialysis. Some, they have to do renal transplant if it is not put under control. Apart from that, it can also affect the brain. Because
okay. Let's not go to the brain and the kidney.
Okay.
It's already a lot for me. We'll go to that soon.
Okay.
Why does pressure increase within the vessels?
Okay.
Causing the heart to work hard.
The reason is that, you know, usually the blood vessels are flexible. They have the ability, as the blood is being pumped, the flexibility is there. But
so there's flexion, there's tension.
Exactly. So, if the heart beats, that's when we have the systolic. That's when then when the heart relax, that is when we have the diastolic. The vessel will relax. So usually, what normally causes that is a chronic condition, which when we individual don't mind their lifestyle, in terms of what they eat, what they consume, with time there will be a kind of deposition of fats, lining, and so on. That's why as we go, we talk about some of those lifestyles that can encourage that. So through that, we make the lining rigid, and so that by compromising that flexibility and so on, we develop some little resistance as the heart pumped, which normally results to a kind of rising blood pressure.
So what we eat directly affects the integrity of the vessel lining?
Yeah, exactly, yes. Especially fat deposition and so on affect that.
Okay, so a lot of people have realized that high blood pressure usually comes without symptoms. But can you tell us what people do or states that people are in that encourage high blood pressure?
Okay, usually, we have some risk factors. We have what we call modified risk factors, and we have unmodified risk factors. Like for the modified risk factor has to do with our lifestyle, maybe not eating healthy diets, food that is highly rich in salts, saturated fats, all these trans fats we get in eatery, all those margarine and so on. So that may contribute to that. Smoking has been attributed to that. Excessive ingestion of alcohol, and not controlling our weight is another factor that may predispose individual to that. Also, poor stress management is another thing with
stress management.
Yes. Also, sedentary lifestyle. All these executives who like sitting for a long time in their offices, not involve one physical activity and the other. Then also physical inactivity. People they don't go for exercise routinely and so on. Those are some of the modified risk factors.
The things you can change.
You can change. Then the unmodified risk factor, you cannot change that. Like for instance, aging. You know, as people get older, the integrity of the vessel lining is being compromised. That flexibility is no longer there, getting rigid. Gender is found more in males. The issue of ethnicity, right?
Is it true that it's found more in males until menopause?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's when things even out.
Even out, yes. Then also like race that we find in blacks and among Asians. Then also there are conditions that can predispose somebody to hypertension, like pre-morbid condition, maybe somebody having kidney problem, diabetes, and so on. Other problems can also, you know, contribute to that. Then familiar history. Genetic and familiar, maybe somebody's father had it, then the likelihood that the son or the daughter may have that. So it also runs in family. So those are some of the unmodified risk factors.
I just want to ask, what does obesity really have to do with high blood pressure? Is it that fat people have more fat in their blood vessels?
Yes, it has been, you know, apart from, yes, fats may be one of the main reasons, but the issue is that what called BMI. That is the weight in kilogram over height square of height.
But that still has to do with fat.
Yeah,
because it's visceral fat.
Yes, but there is a way we normally, you know, yeah, it has to do with that, but we normally use the BMI to actually give a better, a kind of measurement in terms of that. Don't just look at an individual and say that person. We need to use some parameter, and that is a very good measurement we normally use to categorize somebody, whether somebody is fat, normal, obese, and so on.
Okay, so let's have the formula again.
Yes.
You're about to give me.
Yes, I say weight in kilogram over the height square.
Over the height square?
Square, yes.
The height in what?
In meters, sorry.
Meters.
In meters square, yes, yes. So we use that because for underweight, it has to be less than 18.5. And you get, and therefore normal people, it has to be between 18.5 to 24.9.
Okay.
Therefore, overweight from 25 to about 29.9.
Then after that is
obese. Even the obese will not classify into mild, moderate to severe. Yes. So those are the way. We can't just look at an individual and say it's weight. We normally compare with height to be able to be very sure. So why it is very important is because it has been found that if somebody reduce weight, there is likelihood of reducing the blood pressure by 12 to 10 points. So
2 to 10 points.
Yes, by reducing. Yes, if somebody can do like 10 kilograms, you can reduce the blood pressure by 2 to 10 points. So that is based on literature and so on. So I think it has been found that obesity, overweight is one of the risk factors for hypertension. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How consistent must the high blood pressure be for you to give a diagnosis of hypertension?
Usually, in diagnosing high blood pressure, you have to do it on 2 occasions at different time, and that is when.
Is that consecutively or?
No, at a different time. It's not maybe when somebody comes for the first time, the blood pressure is about 40, the systolic is about 40 and above, where the diastolic is about 90 and above. Then when the person comes at other time and still the same, that's when you can make a diagnosis of that. And it's not everybody that can do that. It's somebody that has been trained, because there is this trend of people going house to house who are now trained, telling people they are hypertensive. No, you have to meet somebody who's well trained, and when an individual is able to establish that, that is when you can say somebody is hypertensive.
Let us handle these people going from house to house, because this is a new dimension.
Yes.
Telling people they are hypertensive. What do they carry? What do they use as
Actually, to be sincere, I've had cases, situations whereby they will tell you they can diagnose everything in the system using one kind of funny machine. I don't know what they do. But usually I will advise people, we have different level of healthcare. If you can go to primary healthcare center, general hospitals, teaching hospitals. You can even go to private hospitals that are qualified. That is where you can get people who can actually make such diagnosis. But allowing people to come to your home and give you all sort of funny diagnosis, I don't think we should encourage that in our society. Thank you.
Okay, so we should beware of those.
Yes, yes.
At a certain point in life, I couldn't eat my mother's food. It was so bland. She said the doctor said that I should reduce my salt. Okay, so this reduction of salt intake, does it have a measurement, or must the food be tasteless?
Yes, it has a measurement, and what they said, not less than 5 grams per day. Some literature say less than 2 grams. What that means is that, the teaspoon, just a bit of it should be consumed on a daily basis.
Wait. Wait.
Yeah.
The tip of the spoon?
Yes. Not just
for the whole day?
For the whole day. Yes.
You're going to eat rice,
yes.
stew.
Yeah, you just. Yeah.
So that means you're saying the food should be bland?
No, because I think it has to do with the individual. Some people eat without salt and they still enjoy it. On many occasions, I do that maybe my maid or my wife will miss putting salt, and I still enjoy the rice. So I think it's just the state of mind. If we can
maybe one can add flavors.
Exactly. No, you have to be careful with the flavor. Some of these, what they call them too, they call them spices as well. Some of them have some tint of salt, so we need to be very careful when they say that. I don't want to call something, not to discourage our company, but I think we need to be very wary of that.
Adults should know.
We need to know that.
What
we need
to facing.
Exactly.
All right, so now we're having a lot of traffic, at least in this area of the country, and some people have had to get down from their car or their public transportation, walk long distances to where they work and all that. Is that classified as exercise? Because you said something about being sedentary.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to say that, because before you are involved in exercise, the mental state must be prepared for that. What you are talking about is individual who is already stressed out because of traffic. That mental stress is there. It's not only physical stress, Okay. And I say that. So it's not well planned, and I feel the mental state is it can be another form of stress.
No, but we can use this to our advantage. What if you prepare your mental state? I'm going to walk today. There's a hold up. I know it's a disadvantage, but I'm going to turn it to my advantage.
Which is good.
I'm going to walk.
It's good. It's a good one. It's a good one, because we, according to literature and WHO, it is encouraged at least somebody be involved in physical exercise at least 30 minutes per day.
Okay.
But, yeah,
talking about exercises,
yes.
Does lifting weights classify as a suitable exercise in this instance when you want to move and reduce the likelihood of getting hypertension?
Actually, I wouldn't want to say everybody should be carrying weight, but
not that type of weight. The muscles bulge.
Muscle bulge. Okay, let me just give you the recommendation. We have different type of exercise. We have like the heart conditioning, we have the straining and so on. So, like based on WHO, for the heart conditioning, where somebody do some jogging, running, you
aerobics.
Can do aerobic. You can do that for like about 150 minutes per week. That we call it moderate intensity aerobic activity. Then the one that maybe somebody pushing a wall and so on, you can do that like about 75 minutes per week. So depending on that. So and again,
more aerobics, less.
Yes.
Strength training.
That is also aerobic, but that depends on individual. You can't expect somebody who has not been involved in any physical activity, just wake up one day and started lifting weights. I think it has to be a graded kind of activity.
Definitely.
So
just ease yourself.
Exactly. Start from small way, gradually you now grade it up, but not just going and start picking where that may be some complication from there, maybe straining the muscles and so on. So I think that's why those people that actually patronize those that are involved in aerobics, they will be better guided. But I don't think carrying weight is the ultimate for us in terms of exercise. Just ordinary walking alone is okay. 30 minutes, more jogging and so on. So I think that's it. You don't need to carry weight to be fully involved in physical exercise.
Thank you. Yes. We've got to go in.
Thank you very much.
We're going on a short break. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Welcome back. 46% of those with high blood pressure don't know they have high blood pressure. And right now, this is Health Matters on Channels Television. We're talking high blood pressure and how you can find out whether you have it or not and what to do. With me is Dr. Jamiu Ganiyu.
Thank you.
You can call 0808-054-2233 with any questions you have, or tweet at CTV_Mary A. You can also send me email, moalale@channelstv.com for your questions. Now, doctor, you've already spoken about some of the complications of high blood pressure, unattended to high blood pressure, kidney disease, heart attack, stroke.
Yes.
The kidney, what's the connection?
Yeah, usually, it has to do with issue of maybe the blood vessels also either developing resistance or infarcts. There are a lot of, not properly being perfect, not getting enough blood supplies and so on. So
okay, so the kidney is not getting enough blood.
Or that could be, yes, usually, and just as we are talking about the blood vessels, that resistance is there in terms of maybe the lining by fat and so on. So it's not only around the heart area, it affects almost all the blood vessels. So it can lead to what we call infarcts, the kidney not getting enough blood supplies and so on. So that may also contribute to that.
Well, since it's blood vessels and blood vessels go everywhere, it can affect everything.
Yes, like it's not only even the kidney, the heart. That's why we have what we call hypertensive retinopathy. It can also affect that. And even in the brain, it's not only stroke. It can also cause some cognitive impairment. People having amnesia, memory loss and so on.
I said enough because you have said that there are modifiable risk factors.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would a person wait and begin to have memory loss and stuff like that when the person can do something about it? But before I go to the, whatever else I wanted to ask you, you said infarct. Is that a breakage in the vessel?
No, it's not really a breakage. It's that when there's no proper perfusion, that is blood flow to a certain part, so there can be a kind of cell death. The tissue,
the cell dies.
Yeah, because of inadequate supply of blood to that area. It can cause what they call multiple infarcts and so on. So there are stages, but but what normally happens, it has to do with when there is no adequate blood supply, leading to infarct and different changes, inflammatory changes and so on. So it's a long time thing before eventually to affect the kidney. And
a long term thing.
Yeah.
Which means that the person must have had high blood pressure for a long time. Then it starts affecting the
different. If it's not properly controlled.
The other organs.
Yes.
So, how does a person know that they have high blood pressure since there are no symptoms?
Usually majority don't have symptoms. It's only maybe only a few of them, maybe persistent headache, dizziness, chest pain, or the little confusion and so on.
So what must they do to handle it in time?
Usually they have to visit a healthcare provider.
That's the only
way. So that they will measure, one of the tests they will do is to measure their blood pressure. And I've said not only one occasion, maybe on two or three occasions when they have that elevated blood pressure, that's when they inform them. And apart from that, they need to take history, ask them about some risk factors. As I've said, hypertension are both primary and
secondary. Ask if your parents have
it and so on, or any other underlying condition before. Maybe somebody is diabetic or somebody don't have kidney disease. Kidneys can even predispose somebody to high blood pressure, because another thing is that the kidney also plays some role in controlling high blood pressure. When there are some hemodynamic changes in which the kidney also play a role. So if there is affectation of the kidney, can also cause high blood pressure. So we need to establish establish that through history taken and so on, the individual will be requested to carry out some basic investigations like electrolytes, the blood level, the lipid profile to be very sure.
So in other words, a professional
must be ECG up to that level, electrocardiogram and so.
I did some reading and I came across some information. There are all sorts of drugs in case a person does have hypertension.
Yes.
Some of them are called diuretics.
Yes.
They dump your water. They make...
excessive fluid.
Isn't that bad? Because they say we should drink water, have enough water for flushing, so that the kidney will flush. It's healthy. So what is your recommendation? Should hypertensive people drink even more water?
No, I won't want to say that. What it happens is that why they give that is to prevent what you call fluid overload in the system.
Okay.
Because there may be some, when the body is decompensating, there can be a kind of the kidney not performing well, a kind of fluid retention in the system, which at times you normally see people having edema, swollen legs, and so even the people not be able to breathe well. So what they normally do, based on recommendation and based on review, they may be asked part of what is not only diuretics, there are other combination drugs. In hypertension, they don't give one single drug, could be 2, could be 3, depending on what the provider sees. So what they do, if there is need, usually why in our setting we give diuretics that the black race tend to do better. That's why they normally include that. It's just to ensure that the heart is not overloaded. That's why they ensure that excessive fluid have been taken. And one thing you should know is that salts play a very good role in ensuring that there is fluid retention in the system. So,
less salt. And then
exactly. So, and I want to also let you know that it's not only salt. All these Maggi contain salt. Sodium, we are more particular about sodium.
Glutamate.
So some of those things they contributed to water.
So what's your spices too?
Well, like some spices also contain that sodium. What matter is that sodium, you know.
Yes.
So that's why we encourage food that are richer in potassium than even sodium. Yes.
Okay. You say that there are some things that can prevent.
Yes.
You go through them really quickly.
Yes.
But tell us, can it prevent people from getting hypertension even though they have non-modifiable risk factors working in their lives?
Yes, there are, but that's why we have to look at the prevention at different levels: primordial, primary, secondary, and tertiary. For a country to achieve a better control of hypertension, which is a form of non-communicable disease, there must be policy in ground. Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, is more like a dumping ground for all kind of food. So NAFDAC, Standard Organization of Nigeria, those that are in charge of importing food items and all that need to actually wake up, because some of the food items that are being imported are rich in some way, especially apart from salt, these fats, saturated fats. What the body needs unsaturated fat, but some of these items are rich in saturated and trans fats.
So cook your food as much as you can.
So we need to look at that area. It's very, very important. Some of these processed food, whatever, are so rich in also. So they are a really contributor to that. Then
we really have to end
smoking
the show now.
We need to work
You need to stop smoking. Now, we're about to end the show, but I want to just say a couple of things. Reiterate that you have to reduce your salt, increase your movement, and you also have to go and check your blood pressure, or you may not know.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming to the program.
Thank you.
This has been really rich.
Thank you very much.
Thank you there also at home and wherever you are watching us, for watching and being with us. Have a lovely day, and do check your blood pressure so that you will know. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.